Storm.
Welcome, everyone.
Right, there we go. I'm going to give you the spotlight, my dear. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Friday Support Call. I'm Stephen Carlson, and the hostess of our call today is Marta-Kristi Põld. She is from, am I correct, Estonia, Tallinn, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
One of the three Baltics, and I know which one it is. It's the furthest north.
Exactly. Right below Finland.
Below Finland. So Marta-Kristi is a transformational releasing coach, and she works closely with Joe, her husband, as well. And we were talking a little bit about how each of us have a different orientation in our coaching practice. We work with different types of issues and problems and with people. And one thing that you just mentioned, Marta-Kristi, was the idea of going for a releasing walk. I thought that was really interesting. So I'm going to
Yeah.
pass over the call to you, allow you to take over, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Stephen, for hosting those wonderful calls every week. And really grateful to be here with all of you. And yes, he already mentioned I'm originally from Estonia, but I've lived in the US for half of my life in San Francisco, most of it. Right now, I'm close to Chicago and going to university, studying consciousness and human potential, and Vedic science and some Ayurveda and some neuroscience. And as Stephen already mentioned about releasing walks, we were just discussing how different people incorporate releasing differently, and why I love the Sedona method, and why it is my number one spiritual practice for self-realization and for transforming any undesired states, is because Hale always mentions that releasing doesn't need to look a certain way. Often when I mention people who are new to this about releasing and the Sedona method, the emotional releasing, they think of like, oh, you gotta be like letting it out and screaming. I'm like, yes, you can do that. It's wonderful. It's important to be able to do it any way you like, but it doesn't have to look that way. You can be in a meeting where maybe if you expressed yourself that way, it would maybe not be as accepted, right? We all know that. And but you can let go in a meeting, you can let go in a conversation without it looking a certain way. So that's why when I take my 10,000 step walks every day, I use this time to let go and unravel any energies that need to be unraveled. So that's why I have stuck to my goal to walk 10,000 steps every day, which is considered to be an active person. You should do that. I really enjoy it because I use the time to let go. And I really wanted to mention that because it's often is overlooked that we can be letting go all the time. And the more we do, you know, the more your consciousness or beingness is available, the more we are who we really are, and the more there is ease and flow. And with that, we already have a hand up. Maybe we'll just go straight into any assistance. And Steven, you unmute, want to have something to add?
Looks like Sharon has her hand up, so I'll ask her to unmute. There we go.
Okay, thanks, Stephen.
Hi, Sharon.
Hiya. Yeah, I'd like some support, please.
Wonderful.
I've had quite a turbulent journey, and I've had a lot of anger coming up today. I don't have a fixed place to live, and there's a lot of issues here, and I'm just feeling really frustrated. I've been on the non-duality journey for about 22, 23 years now, studied a lot of different modalities, and I've been doing the Sedona for the last 2 years, and that's really been amazing, a really amazing tool for me. So I'm doing quite a bit of releasing, but I found myself very angry today and felt like it took over a little bit. So some help releasing around that, because I find that I'm quite angry a lot at the moment.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I just wanted to mention that sometimes when we let go of those energies, and sometimes the bottom of it can have, you know, things like anger, you know, on the bottom of the
Yeah.
chart of emotions. So it can, you, without even knowing, you may experience it. But let's, would you perhaps like to let release on that anger?
I would do, yes, please. Thank you. Because I feel that in my situation, I feel like I'm just ready to blow me top, and I'm concerned that I might actually voice how I'm feeling, and that wouldn't really help me because I'm not even supposed to be living where I am, and there's issues with neighbours, and I don't really feel it would be helpful. It wouldn't be helpful anyway, but I'm feeling it's because I've had to keep a lid on it. It's building and building, so some help just release that. Yeah, so I don't have to say
Wonderful.
yeah. Okay,
So
thanks.
all of that anger, all of those emotions, thoughts about your living situation, all of that is going on. Could that be welcomed or allowed here?
Yes, it can.
And could you open the lid of that pressure cooker and let it all out?
Oh, yes, I can.
And could you allow all of that energy, to all of that pressure that's been inside of you, could you allow that to unravel even more?
I'm willing to.
Yes, and knowing that it's just energy waiting to be released, could you allow it to be released even more?
Yes, I can. Yes.
And even more, knowing that it's energy and it just knows exactly what to do, could you allow it to be released?
Yes, I can.
And could you welcome that energy, that anger, and everything that's going on inside you even more?
I feel I can, but I feel there's probably a little bit of holding back on that because it feels like it might be too much to handle.
Wonderful. Can you check to see if there's any wanting to control that energy in any way?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Could you just allow yourself to welcome that wanting to control that energy?
Oh. Yeah, it feels quite restrictive. There's a lot of shaking going on.
Could you let go of that wanting to control that energy?
Yes. Yeah, I could let that go. Yeah.
Would you?
I would, yes.
And when?
Now.
And any remaining wanting to control, could you welcome that as well?
It's really intense.
And could that intensity be welcomed as well, as best as you can, just for now?
Yes, I can.
And could you let that go?
Yes, I can.
Would you?
Oh, I would, yes.
And when?
Now.
And what's here now?
That feels really like freeing, and what I became aware of is just I've been controlling it so much because I was like, there was a fear that I would explode, particularly with the neighbour next door. But what I've become aware of by just allowing myself to feel that, there's probably less wanting to do that. So that's
exactly.
really, I don't even want to speak to the woman because I won't go into the whole story, but I feel like I've just got to let go. I feel I really wanted to be friends with this woman and she's treated me really unkindly. I say I won't go too much into it, but it's just, for me, it's just letting it go of wanting probably approval and just not even wanting to say, I don't even think she's worth saying anything to.
Just that approval, that wanting from approval from this person. Could you also welcome that?
And I'm actually judging myself in that because I'm feeling hate, if I'm honest. I'm feeling hate towards her. And I don't think I've ever hated anyone in my life or really disliked someone as much as I'm disliking her right now.
Wonderful. Would you welcome that feeling of hate as much as you do? Could that feeling of hate be allowed here, exactly as it is?
Yeah,
and
feels
then,
quite lit. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
And then, as best as you can, could you allow yourself to love or approve of this person exactly as they are?
Yeah, I can feel straight away as soon as you said that there was compassion there, and then there's part of a bit of a conflict going on because I feel that so many times, say she's treated me really quite badly, and I've had compassion, and then she's done something really even more worse, and I'm thinking, why am I being compassionate to that person? So there's a bit of that going on at the moment.
Wonderful. And then, and again, could you allow yourself to dislike and disapprove of her, and even perhaps hate her as much as you do? Judge her. Could you allow yourself to do that?
Yes, I can.
And then, as best as you can, could you also approve of her, like her, and have compassion towards her?
Yes, I can.
And just one more time, could you allow yourself to judge, to hate, to dislike her as much as you do, wishing that she was different? You just allow yourself.
Yes, I can.
And then could you let go of that hate and judgment and wishing that she was any different than she is?
Wishing that she's not any different, did you say?
Yeah, that wishing that she was different, wishing that you could change her. Any hate, all of that negativity, resisting that person. Could you let go of that altogether?
Yes, I can.
And could you allow all of that energy to unravel even more, to run its course, and knowing that it's just energy that needs to be let go of?
Oh, yes, I can.
Would you?
Oh, I would, yes, thanks.
And when?
Now.
And would you let go of it even more?
Oh. Yes.
And then could you welcome approving of her, having compassion towards her as best as you can, just for now?
Yes, I can.
And could you even let go of that?
Oh. Yes,
Would you?
I would, yes.
And when?
Oh. Oh.
And what's here now?
I'm a lot calmer. Feeling a lot freer. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was pretty amazing, to be honest. I feel like I feel like I've let go a lot there, and I really appreciate your support in that. It was difficult to ask for that, but I'm so glad that I just allowed that to come up. So I really appreciate your help with that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. And just continue. I invite you to continue to allow anything that's there to unravel.
Yeah, it probably feels it's a little bit more to come up, but I think you've started the process for me. I can do that again on my own. So I really appreciate your support in that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for raising your hand and sharing.
Thank you.
Lovely. Well, I think it looks like Sanjana had her hand up next. I'm going to ask Sanjana to unmute.
Hi, Sanjana.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I need assistance with releasing on a problem.
Wonderful. Would you like to share what the problem is, or would you like me to just guide you to a release?
Yes, I will. There's a lot of past bad experience about the presentation, and tomorrow the presentation is there, and I'm feeling out of control.
So you have a presentation and you're feeling out of control about it?
Yes.
Great. Could you just allow yourself to welcome that feeling of being out of control? As best as you can.
Yes.
And could you also welcome wanting control as much as you do?
Yes.
And again, can you welcome the feeling of being out of control as best as you can, just for now?
Yes.
And could you welcome wanting control wanting to have your presentation that's coming up under your control, having it perfect, could that be allowed or welcomed as well?
Yes.
And again, could you allow yourself to welcome that feeling of being out of control and everything that's going on around that whole idea of that presentation? Could that be welcomed or allowed as well?
Yes.
And could you let go of that?
No.
Wonderful. Could you allow yourself to hold on to that? Just allow yourself to hold on to it as much as you like, just for now.
Okay.
And could you allow yourself to hold on to it even more?
Yes.
And then you check to see that wanting is behind of that wanting to hold on to all of that. Is there any one thing of security, approval, and control?
Approval.
Could you repeat that?
Wanting approval.
And get that wanting of approval be here. Could you welcome that as best as you can?
Yes.
And could you let go of that wanting of approval as best as you can?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
And when?
Now.
And what is here now for you, Sanjana? When you think about your presentation, what is present for you?
Um, there are thoughts like I'm ready to face or whatever happens, it's okay. I will be fine.
Is there any sense of still being out of control? Any remaining sensations of still being out of control about it?
Yes.
Could those sensations be allowed here? Could you just welcome them or allow them as best as you can?
Yes.
Could you also welcome any wanting to push those feelings away, to control them, any wanting to do something with or about this?
Yes.
And could you also check to see if there's any sense that it's personal about you or who you are, that this whole presentation thing has got anything to do with you or any sense of ownership? Could those feelings be allowed?
Yes.
And could you let go of it?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
And when?
Now.
And could you check to see if there is this sense of presenter that I am presenting? Could you check for that, allow and welcome that feeling even more, that I am the presenter?
Yes.
And could you just let go of this whole sense of identity around being the presenter? Could you let that go just for now?
Yes.
Or would you?
Yes.
And when?
Now.
And again, could you allow yourself to welcome that identity of a presenter who has to give a perfect presentation that feels perhaps still feels a little bit out of control? Could you allow yourself to welcome this whole identity even more?
Yes.
And knowing that it's just an energy, could you allow all of that to unravel and to run its course?
Yes.
And could you allow that to unravel and dissolve even more?
Yes.
And some more.
Yes. Yes.
And can you check to see if there's still the sense of a presenter, or is there just presenting that needs to happen?
presenting.
Wonderful. And could you welcome the possibility of presenting with ease, with flow?
Yes.
And could you welcome that even more?
Yes.
Wonderful. What is here now, Sanjana?
I'm feeling relaxed. Yeah, it's like my responsibilities got lesser.
That's wonderful. I just want to add that I once on a retreat asked Hale about a similar issue, presenting in front of a large group of people, and I was very stressed about it. And he just asked me one question: is there to let go of that identity as a presenter, as a speaker, and allow speaking, presenting to happen? And it has transformed all my public speaking fears. I have been giving, I think, talks and presentations almost every month in front of, especially in-person ones where you have to stand in front of a large group of people, and it's really transformed it for me. And anytime there's this, I have to present and there's nervousness may come up, I just allow myself to let go of the identity as a presenter and allow presenting to happen.
Yes, that's really nice. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And yeah, allow yourself to continue to allow yourself to let go of this being the presenter and allow presenting to happen.
Yes, I will.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
So if you're ready, I see that Ronnie has his hand up next.
Hi, Ronnie.
Hi, good afternoon. I don't know if it feels so good afternoon, but for me it's a good afternoon. How you do? I want to share some big, good game. Is that I just got some minutes out of the morning course to really, I really got it some minutes to be awareness, and then from
Wait.
that, it's instead of having it, instead of wanting to have it, it's having it. If I'm making myself clear. And
So go ahead.
just say what you wanted to say.
I was just gonna say, you said you got what it's like to be in awareness instead of wanting to be instead of the wanting of it, right? That's what you mentioned.
Yeah, instead of wanting, for instance, that money, having that money, and what I just got is that then the flow of giving it and also taking it with love.
Mm.
And with that, I really got a lot of gains.
Wow, that is profound.
Yeah. But the only thing similar is that, so what I'm now doing is that I have also I have a project that I need to do. So I need to do things, and I'm doing it from awareness. But sometimes I'm, how to say it, getting out of it, and then I'm more doing it than being in awareness. I'm feeling it, and
So, sorry, go ahead.
I just like to release on that. And then you were saying that Hill said to you when you were doing a presentation to go out of the, or to look at from awareness, or going out of the, don't see it as your person that's doing it.
Yeah, exactly. It's the moment it kicks in, only the person can be nervous about the presentation or getting it right. And when I let that go, that identity, then it kind of, and I end up in awareness, and even sometimes being aware of that energy of nervousness, but I don't have, it's not about me anymore. It just is. Yes, there's nervousness still happening, and there's still allowing to to unravel that, but the identity with it is what really holds on to it. But you mentioned that there's this one thing of holding on to perhaps awareness. Is that right?
No, yeah, it's just submersive, the feeling. I can feel submersive, I'm getting out of it. That's more submersive thing. And that I'm more in doing than I like to
So
get back again.
you're more in doing, right? If there's this doership that you're the one who's doing things,
Yeah.
would you welcome and allow yourself to welcome the sense of doership, being the doer? Could that be allowed here?
Yeah, that can be allowed.
And could you also check to see if there's any wanting to do something with or about this, to push it away or to hold it close, or any wanting to control that in any way?
Yeah, it's normally controlling me.
And could that sense of control be welcomed here as well?
Yeah, that can.
And could you let go of it?
I can do that a little. Just have to be honest.
Yeah, wonderful. As best as you can. Just for now, could you let go of it even more?
Yeah, I can.
And some more.
I can.
And could you allow it to dissolve, to unravel? Just a little bit more.
I can do that.
And could you check to see if there's any wanting to, any identification, any sense of I, me, or mine, any wanting to be a certain way, any ownership?
Yes, definitely an ownership and me. Yeah.
And could that be welcomed here, or allowed as best as you can, just for now?
Yeah, it can.
And could you allow that to dissolve as best as you can?
I can.
And could you let go of it and allow it to dissolve even more?
Yeah, I can do that.
And some more.
Okay.
And that any remaining sense of being the doer, could you allow yourself to welcome that as well?
It's no problem.
You said no problem or no?
No problem. No problem.
Oh, great. And that tour, that whole tourship, could you allow yourself to give that energy, that part of you, some love and approval?
Yeah, I can do that. Has been trying to help me a lot.
Say again?
I can do that because it's has been helping me or wanting to help me a lot.
Wonderful.
Or,
Could you give that energy or that part of what's of you that's apparently happening even more love and approval?
I can do that.
And could you allow that sense of doership to dissolve altogether, knowing that it's just energy?
I can do that.
And could you allow that to unravel even more?
Yes, I can.
And could you let go of that?
Yes.
And could you check to see if there's still any sense of doership present?
Just a little bit holding back. Just a little bit.
And could that
I
be
can feel it in
welcomed or
my
allowed
chest. Yes, of
in your
course.
chest?
Yeah.
Yeah, and whatever is there in your chest, that sense, could that be welcomed or allowed here as best as you can?
Yes, I can.
And could you allow that to dissolve?
Yes, I can.
Could you allow that to dissolve even more?
Yes.
And is that what's apparently happening?
It is.
And could you welcome being?
Yes.
Could you allow yourself to rest as the beingness that you already are and that everything is?
Well,
And could you welcome ease and flow and allowing the doing that needs to unfold to happen naturally?
yes.
And could you welcome that even more?
I do.
And will you allow beingness to be exactly as it is?
I will.
What is here now?
Nothing.
Can you say that again?
Nothing. Nothing.
Nothing?
Yes.
Great. You just allow yourself to continue to be in that apparent nothingness?
Yes, that feels good.
Great. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing.
I do believe Sarah has her hand up next. I'll ask Sarah to unmute.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Yeah, what is present for you right now?
I need support releasing or like a huge cleanup procedure on a family member that is double binding me, that is threatening me and causing me a lot of distress right now.
So there's a family member that's causing you a lot of stress right now?
Yes.
Great, great. So could you welcome all that you feel about this family member? Could you, all those thoughts, emotions, could those be allowed here?
Yeah.
And can you check to see if there's any wanting of control, approval, security, oneness, or separation?
I guess wanting control and wanting security and wanting approval and wanting separation from it all. So all of it. All of it.
Wonderful. Would you welcome all of it exactly as it is?
Yes.
And could you allow yourself to let go of that? This whole energy of wanting it all to be different.
How?
You said no?
I said how?
How? So all those sensations that are present inside of you right now, is there any sense of overwhelm perhaps?
Yes.
Could you allow yourself to just welcome that as best as you can, just for now, that sense of overwhelm?
Yes.
And as best as you can, could you allow that to dissolve just for now?
Yes.
And could you allow that to dissolve a little bit more?
Yes.
And even more.
Yes.
And knowing that it's just energy, emotions that want to be released. Could you allow that, give it the permission to unravel and to run its course even more?
Yes.
Just as if you're taking the lid off of this pressure cooker, could you give that energy the permission to leave, to let go even more?
Yes.
And some more.
Yes.
And even more, as best as you can.
Yes.
Could you allow yourself to let go of this energy even more?
Yes.
And some more.
Yes.
And even more.
Yes.
And some more.
Yes.
And even more.
Yes.
And some more. Just allowing it to be released.
Yes.
And what is present for you right now?
Just don't know how to change this person. This person really, really likes to cross my boundaries and really likes to get, they know how to press my buttons, and when I say no, they know how to get me, and I don't know how to stop them.
So there's this wanting to change that person or wanting them to be different.
Yes.
Could that wanting this person to be different, could that be allowed here?
Yeah.
And would you let that go?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
And when?
No.
And all those remaining sensations of wanting this person to be any different than they are, could you allow them? And could you allow all of that to be here exactly as it is?
Yes.
And would you let go of that?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
No.
And could you also welcome that sense that it's personal about you or who you are?
Feels very much so.
And just welcome that as best as you can. Allow it to be here exactly as it is. Just for now. And all of that energy, the sense that it's personal, could you allow that to dissolve altogether?
Yes.
And could you allow that to dissolve even more?
Yes.
And could you welcome that sense of how overwhelmed and out of control this feels?
Feels very much out of my control.
And could that be welcomed or allowed here?
Yeah.
And could you also welcome a wanting of control, wanting to have control over the situation?
Yes.
Or this, And can you welcome how out of control it is?
Yeah.
And could you welcome wanting control?
Yeah.
And again, can you welcome the sense of how out of control and overwhelming it all is?
Yeah.
And can you welcome wanting to control this situation, wanting to have those strong boundaries?
Yeah.
And one more time, can you welcome how out of control it is?
Yeah. I just, I don't know why the other person can't just see why I am making the boundary with them. Or why it's important to me.
Could you welcome that as well? That's not understanding or trying to figure it out. Why they can't do that? Why they can't understand you?
Just want my little being to be safe. And I want
Can you
them to respect
Yeah.
it and respect my boundary for it. Because I don't want anything to happen to my little one.
Mm,
And they don't seem to get why I want to put a boundary up and why I feel uncomfortable.
Did you welcome that wanting of security and safety with this person?
Yes.
Just for now, could you let go of that wanting?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
No.
And would you let this whole wanting of security to dissolve, to run its course?
Yes.
And would you rather have security or want security?
Have it.
Could you welcome having this feeling of what security feels like as best as you can?
Yeah.
Can you welcome that sense of security even more?
Yeah.
And some more.
Yeah.
And now, could you welcome this wanting of approval from this person?
Yes.
And could you let that go?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
No.
And any remaining sense of wanting approval from this person, could you welcome that as well?
Yeah.
And would you let that go?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
And when?
No.
And this warning of separation that you mentioned earlier, could that be welcomed here as well?
Yeah.
And would you let go of that?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
No.
And this sense of wanting oneness with this person, could that also be welcomed here?
Yes.
And could you let that go?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
And when?
No.
What is present for you right now?
I'm feeling a little bit lighter than I was. I guess I don't need their approval or security for this, but it's like almost a double bind what I'm asking them to do at the same time, but I don't know how to get clear on that and how to also have precautions in case I need to be like right next to this other person to make sure my little one is safe. I don't know. I think I feel stuck because it is a family member. It is someone I care about.
Would you?
But this one is, very small and can't fend for themselves. So
Could you welcome this whole feeling of stuckness, perhaps?
yeah,
And could you allow yourself to welcome how stuck it feels even more?
yeah,
And could you let that go?
yeah,
Would you?
yes,
When?
now,
And again, could you allow yourself to welcome how stuck it feels with all those circumstances that are going on? Could you allow yourself to welcome that as best as you can?
yeah,
Would you let that go?
yes,
Could you allow this whole energy of feeling stuck to unravel, to dissolve?
yes,
And could you allow that to dissolve even more?
yes,
And some more,
yes,
and even more.
yes,
And could you welcome having control?
yes,
Could you welcome that a strong sense of being in control even more?
yes,
And could you also welcome a strong sense of security, knowing that there's this underlying current of security no matter what? Could you welcome that?
yes,
Could you allow that even more?
yes,
And some more.
yeah,
And could you give yourself love and approval?
yeah,
And could you give yourself even more love and approval?
yeah,
And even more love and approval.
yeah,
And could you allow yourself to welcome the love that everything already is?
yeah,
And that love that you already are. Could you allow yourself to welcome that even more?
yeah,
And that love, that pure beingness that you already are, does that need any approval, or is it already love and approval and security as it is?
It already is. I think
And
I've
could
been
you,
just,
yeah, you were saying?
have been fighting it.
Yeah. Could you welcome that love? It's like inherent security that's embedded in existence already to be.
Yeah.
And could you welcome that strong sense of the strong current of approval that already is to be here?
Yeah.
And this this sense of a personhood, that being a separate individual, could you allow yourself to give approval and love to that apparent person even more?
Yeah. Ironically, they're calling me.
and,
I'm ready to talk to them.
and that person, could you give them a love and approval for being exactly as they are, just for now?
Yeah.
And could you give them even more love and approval?
Yeah.
And some more.
Yeah.
And even more.
Yeah.
And could you welcome the possibility that of there being ease and love in any dealing with this person, and that there being love and flow in this relationship?
Yeah.
And could you welcome that even more?
Yeah.
And what is here now?
Um, just wanting space from this person just for now. Like I feel like if I talk to them now, it's not gonna go over well right now. Like I hope they can understand that. I just need some space. I just need some clearing and space.
Could you welcome this whole sense of wanting space?
Yeah.
And could you let go of that one thing of space?
Yeah.
Would you let go of it?
Yeah.
And when?
Yeah.
And could you welcome that one thing of space even more?
Yeah.
And could you let go of that?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
And when?
No.
And would you rather want space or have space?
Half space.
Could you allow yourself to have space?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I guess I can make that decision now, like whether to answer the phone or not. I don't have to.
Exactly. Exactly. You can allow yourself to have space.
Yeah.
Hale always says remember, it's just a decision.
Yeah, that's true.
And all this back and forth that will come up in your mind, this whole conversation and all this energy, just allow yourself to welcome that at all times when that comes up, this mental negotiation and emotions. we come up with it, and just allow and continue to allow the beingness to be exactly the way it is, and welcoming space and approval and security.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. And what is present for you right now with this?
Well, there's like a sense of clarity that I can have that space and that I don't need to rush to say anything to this person. And that the more space I give, the more I guess like that says something like right now that, to them, but I mean, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just continue, welcoming all those wants around this person, and then letting it go and welcoming the desired state and that space. Like you so beautifully said earlier, that it's just a decision, right?
This person's saying, don't be angry. Nobody will order you to do anything. I'm like, well,
They actually said that?
They actually said that to me in the text because I didn't answer. So I'm like, well, in other words, you're either meaning the opposite or you're trying to just get a rise out of me. So
Yeah, exactly. Whatever comes up for you, could you welcome that as well?
yeah.
And you just let all of it go.
Yeah.
And would you?
Yes.
And when?
No.
Wonderful. Does this feel like a good place to leave it for now?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing.
I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nice. I only see one hand up. You can see who too. Marie-Françoise.
Hi, I didn't know if you wanted to keep going, but
Yeah.
I guess I just want to do one on money release and or fear of people, and it can be for everybody. I'm just having a lot of issues with money around now, both things, and it's just been like an ongoing thing, and I guess I just need to release on it till it stops.
So issues with money, you said. Did you mention another thing that over there as well?
I did. Fear of people. I kind of said that really fast. That kind of has come to me recently, that I have a total fear of people.
Fear of people and money. Do you think they go hand in hand?
I have no idea. I just know that I keep having the same issues around both things, not having money or having it and it's gone again and I'm back in struggle. And also just friendships crashing and burning, even maybe after, now it's quicker. It used to be maybe after 10 years. Now it's after 2 years, or, I'm too negative and I'm not, positive enough for them. And, they're moving to a new level, or I'm just, I don't know, or I start to feel uncomfortable or bossed around, like I have to be a certain way if I'm not that way. But maybe I'm the person in the wrong because I'm the common denominator. So maybe it's all my fault and I can't tell why. I just would like it to not happen anymore. Or if it did, for it to happen on my terms. I'm not always the one being dumped or made to feel that I'm the worst person in the world. Like I'm not even worthy of speaking to or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm putting up with too much. I have no idea. Maybe I'm picking the wrong people. I don't know what the issue is, but I'm really scared of people because you can't get anything done in life without some way, some shape or form having to get along with them and deal with people. And I just don't trust, and I think I'm just scared of them. I haven't had good experiences with people,
Mm. Are you
including
trying to
family, everything.
Are you trying to figure out this whole situation with people?
I really don't care. I probably, but I more would like it just to stop, and I don't have to figure out why. I'm not really attached to figuring out why anymore. I'm sure I could hypothesize about why it's happening over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, but I'd really would just rather have it stop.
To have it stop, you said?
Yeah, I don't want the pattern to continue because I can't move forward in life. It's just I'm stuck without people, and I don't have family I can rely on. So yeah, I just feel like I'm going to be around a lot of people in a couple of weeks, and I don't want to be freaked out or thinking, oh well, this is nice now, but it's not going to come to anything. It's going to end. Nothing ever worked. I just.
Great.
But I can't deny
So,
I have that feeling. It is there.
Seems like this is most present right now, this whole the
Ye-
feeling around people.
Yeah, that and money. Oh, if I have to choose the two, because we only have so much time, even for me, I have to go do something. But yes, but if you, I think if you have money, you have to deal less. You have to conform less because people, it's just easier with money in life. I mean, I don't want to spend all the time talking unless
Yeah.
you need me to.
So you're wanting to have money so you can deal with people less. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I just want to have money so I can
Sorry.
live.
So you can live?
Okay, so I guess I'm confusing. Let's just focus on one thing since it's confusing you. Let's just focus on money. It seems to be simpler.
Okay. I'm good with either or. I'm just wanting to see if there's a correlation or anything like there.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm rushing because I only have so much time now. So I guess I'm rushing through it. So let's just do money. It's fine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. All of you on this call and you, Marie, could you just allow yourself to welcome this present moment, this perhaps feeling of rushing and wanting to figure things out, and all of that's there, all those patterns, ideas, memories, behaviors, attitudes, or stories that are apparently happening.
Mm-hmm.
Could you allow yourself to welcome all of it right now?
Yes.
Could it be welcomed or allowed as best as you can?
Yes. Oh, yes. I know exactly why it is with money. I did work like I'm on TV right now, and they don't have to pay me. The contract the union agreed to, I didn't vote to, is allowing them to use my work to make money, but not compensate me.
And how
I was
does
paid
that
the
feel
first
like?
time. It feels like shit. I feel betrayed. I feel so angry and betrayed, and I'm powerless. I can't do anything.
Could you allow yourself to welcome those feelings of being powerless, betrayed, and how angry you feel? Could you allow all of it to be here?
It's here. I do resist it though a lot because I'm
wonderful. Could you welcome that resistance?
Yes.
And could you let go of that resistance as best as you can?
Maybe a little. Yeah. Okay.
Great. Could you let go of it just a little bit more?
Yes. No.
No?
But it's because it's the resistance to being like, I don't know. I'm confused because now I feel like people want to feel sorry for you and talk down to you for being an artist, yet everybody is using you. And the reason why artists don't make any money is because people steal from them. They steal from us. It's not because we don't generate money. We just don't get our income.
And could you allow yourself to welcome those feelings, how unfair perhaps it feels?
Yes.
And could you allow yourself to welcome that even more?
Yes.
And could you allow that energy to dissolve?
Oh, yes.
Could you allow that to dissolve even more?
I don't know how, but yeah, okay.
If you did know how, then would you allow it to unravel or to let go of it?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
And when?
Now.
And those remaining sensations, could you allow yourself to welcome them as well?
Yes.
And could you let go of it?
I don't know. Yeah, okay.
As best as you can.
Yeah.
And could you check to see if there's any wanting to fix things, change things, to control them,
Of course,
understand
I
them?
want to be paid. I want to be able to do things. I want to be paid my rent. And then people look down on me or judge me because I don't have money and it looks like I'm stupid. But I'm being robbed, but I'm being blamed for it.
Could you welcome how it feels, how all of that feels? This injustice and feeling like you're robbed. Could you allow yourself to feel those feelings?
Yes.
And could you allow yourself to welcome those feelings even more?
Yes.
And some more.
Yes.
And even more.
Yes.
And could you let go of it?
Okay, yes.
Would you?
Yes.
And when?
Now.
And what is present now?
Uh
What's apparently happening?
I devoted my 30 years to something and they are systematically taking it away. And everybody's okay with it.
Mm,
And it was a faith-based program. Faith-based. Some religious shit.
wow. Will you allow yourself to feel what it feels like, all of this?
It's slavery. That's what happens in slavery. You work and they take it all.
Yeah. Could you allow yourself to welcome how unjust and how unfair and how wrong that feels?
Yeah. And I'm still paying dues to the union. Thousands of dollars worth. They're really quick to threaten you to kick you out, but they're not quick to make sure you get paid to pay them.
Yeah. Could you allow yourself to welcome those feelings as well? How it feels, what they're
Yes.
doing. And could you
Yes.
allow yourself to welcome that even more?
Yes. And this is why I don't trust people. Yes.
Yeah. Could you allow yourself to welcome that feeling?
Yes.
And could you just for now let go of it as best as you can?
Yeah.
And would you?
Yes.
And when?
Now.
And those remaining sensations of distrust and how unfair it feels, could you welcome and allow them as best as you can as well?
Yes.
And could you allow yourself to let go of it all?
I don't know how. I have to call them right now.
And could you allow yourself to welcome of not knowing and how to deal with all of this and how it all feels. Would you simply allow yourself to feel and to notice what is here now about this whole situation and how real it is?
Yeah, I just feel hopeless. There's no way just me can do anything. And I'm older now. It's just...
Could you allow yourself to welcome that feeling of hopelessness or helplessness?
Yes, I hate it though.
Could you allow yourself to hate it as much as you do?
Yes.
And would you let that go?
Yes.
And would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
And would you allow yourself to welcome this whole situation and how it feels even more?
Yes.
And as best as you can, could you allow yourself to let go of it?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
And when?
Now.
What is present for you right now?
I feel a little calmer, but I have to go. So thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. I have to go talk to somebody about it who's had the same situation. It's just...
Yeah. And if it helps, I invite you to give this whole situation and yourself love and approval. Yeah.
I don't approve of myself. I don't approve that I signed that contract, that I didn't know it was saying that I trusted them. I don't approve of myself.
Yeah, no matter how hard it feels, if you just could, even if it was a little bit, a love and approval for yourself, despite you perhaps made a decision that now doesn't look right, could you give yourself a little bit of love and approval if you could?
What? Okay, I don't know how to do that because now because I'm not getting paid for what I actually do, I'm gonna have to go get some shit office job where I don't want to be because I'm not getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. And do you know how hard it is to get those jobs? People don't understand.
Yeah.
People do not understand, but they judge you quick enough. I just feel like whenever I trust people, I get screwed. Sorry, that's not supposed to be a belief, I guess. Because say, oh, well, you're making that happen. You said it. Well, I don't know. I thought I was going to get paid. I didn't say it then. I trusted, you know.
Yeah. I understand you said that you have to go, but I really would like to invite you to just welcome, everything that's present.
I mean, other people have husbands or families or properties. They have all this other stuff. So what we do is just like kind of a lark for them. It's a hobby.
Yeah.
I don't have any of that. So
could you allow yourself to welcome the entirety of how unfair, unjust it feels? Just as best as you can.
yeah. I'm tired of being the loser. I don't know how to make it stop.
Could you allow yourself to welcome that as well, this whole story, this whole idea?
Yes.
And could you just for now, as best as you can, let go of it?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Yeah. And could you, I really want to invite you to continue to allow, to welcome what is to be, and to continue to allow yourself to let go, to make that decision. I also want to respect your time and commitments, because you mentioned.
Yeah, thank you though. I guess
Yeah.
I needed that last bit. Thank you. I appreciate you. I need to go now. Thank you. Beautiful
Yeah.
call. Thank you, Steve, and everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. I really, really appreciate it.
Well, then that's it. Thank you, Marta-Kristi.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen, for making those calls happen, and everybody for showing up and allowing yourself to transform the different forms of beingness and the way they show up.
Thank you. That was
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a nice weekend, everybody.
Yes,
Bye.
thank you. Same here. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.